how to find and wholesale big deals in direct mail, step by step. Guys, this is Ginn, and today I'm going to talk about not only how to find these deals, but more importantly, what are you looking for to find that success, and what's the key ingredient, the filters that make this type of direct mail so successful. Now, before I get into it, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, you hit that subscribe button so you can continue to receive the best up-to-date information on wholesaling today. So let's talk about it. Direct mail and big deals, I'm pretty much synonymous for that. I'm going to share with you my 20 years, my tips, my tricks on how to harvest the most profitable deals from direct mail so you can duplicate my success. So the first thing you got to understand is, what areas are we looking for these deals? Now, I always tell you, good wholesale deals pick us. We don't pick them, but you do pick your list from where they're harvested from, and that's where we need to begin. Now, my biggest spreads are always reverse engineered, and you have to understand what I mean by that. You have to understand what people truly desire and what they will pay the most for you to get the biggest profit. If you buy a 1-1 condo, there's only going to be so many buyers and so much demand for it, and that's why I avoid those types of deals. What I'm looking for, and in every market it's different, but if I'm in my local market, what is the hottest properties that everybody wants to buy? Now, often it's going to be the price points where everybody can buy the most affordable house. So the first place we start is we have to pick the average median price or below. Now, I don't want to go too low because the competition gets fierce at the very bottom of your price range. If you can stick to just below or at the median price and find the houses that are most desirable, and more importantly, find the neighborhoods. Find that up and coming neighborhood. Find where people are transitioning to afford it, so you can be ahead of the curve. Once you identify this area, pick the properties you want to do. I like 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garages because those are the ones I'm typically going to make the biggest spread in my markets. Now, you can take that information and cater to your local market. If people are really they just want 4 bedrooms and they want 3 baths, you can target your direct mail filters to look for those. So number one is you got to find the area. That's the most important part. If you are focusing on rundown neighborhoods that are going backwards but prices are going up, odds are you're going to have a lot of competition from other wholesalers. You're not going to make big spreads. What you're looking for is the end product in mind. And remember, we don't deliver the end product. We're just the starters and the finders of it. And that's how we make our money. So how do I do this? I want to find up and coming neighborhoods, and you guys know which ones they are in your local market. Number two, I want to talk to cash buyers in that market and see what they're looking for. A lot of times the information is already at your fingertips. I don't want you guys to figure this out on your own. You need to go spend more time with cash buyers, which I highly advise you doing anyways in our current market, and find out what their parameters are for buying, and more importantly, where are they buying these deals? They'll share with you their profit spreads, and remember, they're the ones that are usually fixing these properties. They are your fix and flippers. They're the ones going to take all the risk all the time, put hundreds of thousands of dollars on the property to ultimately sell it to the end user, and they're only going to chase neighborhoods where they can get the biggest spreads. So if you start by educating yourself and spending a little bit of time with your cash buyers, particularly your fix and flippers, you will quickly identify these areas, and that's where you target. You are going to look for areas that are up and coming, which has the most demand, and that's what I want you to target, and that is the first key to your success in doing really big deals in direct mail. So now that we've identified the area, how do we put this mailing campaign together to make this work? If you guys want to learn real extensive on how to do this, like step-by-step detail, go to mailingmastery.com, and I walk you through how I actually use my operation, how I use my mailers, and the companies I use to get the most success in my direct mail. But we have to talk about what we call filters. So now you guys can go online and you can use the software, whichever one you want to use. And I'll put a link in below on your options for which ones you can use. And for a small fee of a subscription per month, you can harvest this information. The key is you've got to look for the right filters to get this information. So number one, we've already established the area. The second one, which is most important to me, is how long have they owned the properties for? Most people, I get the the biggest profit levels have owned the property at least 5 years or more. I've tried this every which way. I've gone as low as 2 years. I've gone as high as 10 years. But the person that usually owns a property 5 years, they are usually pretty ripe and open to an offer. The other part that leads us to the equity filter is I look for people with at least 40% or higher equity. I have gotten very few good deals with less than 40% equity. Think about this. If they've been in the property 5 years, the equity's probably gone up. They've paid down the mortgage or have little to no mortgage, and the property has issues or they want to change neighborhoods. That leaves the golden opportunity for you to negotiate a deal. Why? Because there's actually equity left in the property. Guys, this is a number games at this point, and getting these filters correct are critical. As far as price points, I want to focus on the properties that are at the median price point, maybe slightly above and slightly below, and you can do that on the valuation on the property. Now, I'm going to share a little tip that you can use in zacdata.com, and this is through Batch, and they offer an additional filter, and I find this filter probably one of the most critical filters in finding the best deals. Most people that sell me the best deals are 40 years or older. Doesn't say I haven't gotten a good deal from below, but for a majority of the deals I've gotten, you can set the demographics on age to 40 and above, and this will filter you out the best deals for your most success in direct mail, because they're usually a little bit older, they're a little bit wiser about selling it, and the reality is it probably just has more equity. I found this by default after 20 years of data. Not every software lets you use this. So if you use zacdata.com, you can actually use this filter under demographics. So now that we've mastered the filters part and we put our list together, now we have to actually talk about the delivery of the actual direct mail piece. Now, I'm a huge advocate of postcards. Why? They're fast, they're cheap, and they're efficient. Don't get me wrong, letters do work, but letters cost on average at least twice as much, and I rather play the quantity game as opposed to the quality in this, because I'm looking for a motivated seller that wants to sell now. I strongly believe you cannot convince a motivated seller to sell their house. Either you hit them at the right time. I'd rather hit 3,000 people than like 1,000 letters, because letters on average are going to cost you at least twice as much. For that reason, I'm not the biggest fan of them. Now, I like to use letters for small campaigns like probates and stuff like that. But for this, I like a wide shotgun approach, which is a postcard. So let me share the key successes I use on postcards that make a huge difference. Number one, less is more. The less you put on the postcard, the better success you're going to have. Why? Because so many of you are trying to explain all your services on the front and the back of the postcard, and it reads like a book. Most people look at a postcard and they make a quick glance, and within 6 seconds, they're going to make a decision if they're going to either throw it away or keep it. If you put too much information on it, there is no element of like, what is this all about? So many of you think by putting more information on the postcard, you're doing it a favor, and actually you're not, because what is the purpose of any type of direct mail, specifically a postcard or a letter? The number one purpose is to engage your prospect. If it does not engage your prospect, you have failed. It's not supposed to qualify your prospect. It's not supposed to close your prospect. It's not going to do any of that. So the number one thing you need to understand why I have so much success with direct mail on big profits is I focus on the number one action of direct mail. The purpose is to engage your prospect. So if you put a monologue on there, everything you do, there's no intrigue, there's no curiosity. They just throw it away. They figure, okay, that's all they can do. You're just like every other wholesaler out there. You just want to buy my house cheap. No. I use different strategies. Now, for a while, I used to use the picture on there. It worked really well. The Google images, why? It was different and engaged them. And people will call you, go, why are you stalking me at my house? I don't care. It worked. I don't believe in scare tactics, final notices, pink and red notices. It's just going to get you a lot of flack and can actually get you in trouble with the U.S. Postmaster. So I like to simply put a postcard on is we buy houses for cash, any situation, any condition, any price range, and simplify it. I like to use the phone number at least twice in very large print. And here's the key. You need to find something that is going to create urgency and curiosity. Okay, Rick, how do I create urgency and curiosity? Do something different than everybody else does in your market. If you use the standard we buy houses postcard, you're going to get the standard results. I like to use a technique where we actually put a price on the postcard. Why? Because nobody else does it. And when I do it, always one of two things happens. Number one, they call me up and go, I could never take that least amount up for my house. I couldn't do that. Or how did you get this price? Or number two is, I would love to do business with you. I'll take the offer. Now, here's my secret. I don't even care what's offered on the postcard. All I'm going to do is qualify them from this point. Once they call me, I have won the battle. You know why? The more times they call me, I don't even care if they call me to chew me out. You guys have to understand this direct mail. The purpose of the direct mail piece is to engage your prospect. When they call you, you win. If they don't call you, you lose. Too many phone calls, you gave an unrealistic offer. Too few phone calls, you were too hard. So you want to use the postcard or the letter to engage your prospects so they will call you so you can have an honest conversation with them. It's not a scary tactic. It's nothing like that. And honestly, I don't even care what price I put on the postcard. It's unique, and the curiosity kills the cat. People want to know how you came up with that price for the house. And for this reason, this is why I'm so successful in direct mail. I found this out through spending about $65,000 testing this theory out. And here's what I learned. In order for you to get them to call you off your direct mail is you have to leave them a call to action. How? Make them an offer on their house and tell them to call the number to discuss it further. People are obsessed with Zillow, the Zestimate, right? You all agree with that? So all I've done is taken that strategy and put it on a postcard. If you want to learn more on how to do this and how to get the absolute maximum profits from your direct mail by farming to the areas like I told you before, using the correct filters and using this offer technique, I have the exact way to do it. Go to mailingmastery.com. I teach you in detail how to do this. It's called the Rapid Offer System, or better known as the ROS postcard. And I would love to share this tactic with you if you want to earn really large profits on direct mail. Now, I'm going to close this out by letting you know direct mail is much slower than your cold calling or your SMS text blasting. Why? Because it's mail and we don't control it. How do you evaluate a good direct mail campaign? You have to give it a minimum of 1 quarter. You cannot mail and then expect results to be done in a week. Sometimes I get calls 6 months later on someone who's put it on their fridge and go, man, I've been meaning to call you. So understanding if you engage into this technique I've taught you, number one, be very careful because you can make a lot of money doing this. I've been doing direct mail for 20 years. I've never stopped. People, oh, direct mail doesn't work. The more people say that, the happier I am because it's the more money I make. Now, does direct mail cost more? Yes. It's like twice the cost of what it used to be, but who cares? Your average postcard costs you 50 cents. Do the math. You figure out how many prospects you want. You have to have quantity to make this work. You can't just send out 200 and expect it to work unless you have a very specialized list. So make sure when you do direct mail, you're patient with it. You give it 1 quarter and set up a budget and a marketing plan for it. And if you want to earn big deals like this, I'm telling you, I do it all the time. Guys, go to mailingmastery.com. I'll walk you through the details on how to do it. I love this business. I've always done direct mail and I'll always continue to do it. So guys, let me know in the comments, are you going to use this direct mail technique to earn big profits on really good deals? Because I'm telling you, it's there for the taking and I want you to take advantage of it. Let me know in the comments if you're going to go ahead and utilize it and let me know what you think. And guys, make sure you smash that like button. You hit that subscribe button to continue to receive the best up-to-date information on wholesaling today. Guys, this is Rick Ginn and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.